I'm Anil Kumar sharing with you an excellent question from my subscriber Samuel. Samuel, thanks a lot for posting this question, and I hope I can provide you with some solution. Well, the question which you posted is find two numbers whose sum is 11 and the root is 30. Now, what I understand from here is that we have to form an equation whose solution is 30 and which involves two numbers whose sum is 11, right? So, let me share the whole process of learning as I go about solving this particular question. So, I began with two numbers, let's say a and b, whose sum is 11, that is a plus b is equal to 11. Now, there are many combinations which could give us this sum of 11, right? So the simplest number which comes to my mind is, let's say, 1 and 10. 1 and 10 could give me 11. So I placed 1 for A and 10 for B. Well, there are many other combinations we could go on, right? Like this, and so on. To complicate, we could add negative numbers also. So we got a set of numbers which could give us sum of 11. Now the idea is to form an equation. So how do I get an equation? So the second part was to get equation. So I created one whose solution could be 30. So I wrote one equation as ax plus b equals to 40. Now clearly in this particular equation, if I use this value 1 and 10, I do get a solution, right? So I could use this value 1 and 10, 1 for A, 10 for B, right? So if I use 1 for A, so 1 times x plus 10 equals to 40. Solving this, we know x should be equal to 30. So the solution of this equation is indeed 30. Well, that is one part of it. The beauty of this question is starting from the equation itself. So if we start with the equation ax plus b equals to 40, now the question for you is to solve this equation and verify that x is equal to 30, right? So we'll do the reverse. The reverse here is verify that my equation is true, that is x equals to 30 is indeed the solution. Okay, so let's do this part, which is equally interesting. So what we are given here is that a plus b is equal to 11, that is to say that the sum is 11, right? So we could write that b is equal to 11 minus a. Perfect. Now we are given the equation ax plus b equals to 40. I can substitute b as 11 minus a. So I could write this as ax plus 11 minus a equals to 40. Now we could rearrange ax minus a, take 11 to the right side, gives me 40 minus 11. Now here a is a common factor, so we get x minus 1, and 40 minus 11 is 29. Now as you can see here, 29 is a prime number. So it has only two factors, right? So 29 is a prime number, and we know only 1 times 29 is equal to 29. Therefore, a should be equal to 1, and this number here should be 29. Correct? To get this, we can actually say that x minus 1 is 29. So we say x minus 1 equals to 29, and so x is equals to 29 plus 1, which is 30. So we get the solution x equals to 30. Is that clear? Perfect. And therefore, the equation which we began with ax plus b equals to 40 could be one of the examples where the two numbers have sum of 11 and the root of the equation is 30. Does make sense to you? So in this fashion, we could create more equations depending on what is the solution in our mind. Perfect. So I think this idea of prime number multiple could be a good idea to solve such questions. I hope that makes sense, and it really made my day very interesting and beautiful. Thanks for posting such an excellent question. Thank you and all the best.